This is Rock and Roll English. Real people, real English. Here's your host, Martin Johnston.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Rock and Roll English. Episode number 118, baby. Oh yeah. If you're asking yourself, is there shit audio again today? There's not, okay? Boom Boom Cannon is being punished. Okay, so we have Clarification Charlie with us. Speaking about International Men's Day, the type of really important arguments that we look at in this podcast. Remember, all of the rock and roll vocabulary is on the website, rockandrollenglish.com. Go there, have fun. It works 7 days a week, okay? Probably the only website in the world that does that. So go there, use it, have fun. I will speak to you again at the end. Happy listening. Clarification Charlie, how are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Always fantastic, Charlie. Always fantastic. First question, have you got your microphone on? Because I don't know if you know, but that idiot, Boom Boom Cannon, forgot to switch his mic on last week.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, definitely on, yeah?
Yeah, no schoolboy errors for me.
Oh, some nice rock and roll vocabulary. Schoolboy error is something very basic that you do. A very stupid thing. We refer to it as a schoolboy error. Very much like Boom Boom. He's done about 20 podcasts now. Switching the mic on is generally considered an important thing. He chose not to do that. It's a free world. Everyone can choose what they want.
That's very true. Very true. But anyway, how was your birthday?
Oh, fantastic, Charlie. Fantastic. Very much made fantastic by the members of the Rock and Roll English family. Even yourself, Clarification Charlie.
Oh, well, I think I know what you're referring to.
Oh, yes. Obviously, the members of the Rock and Roll English family will know as well. But I want to share this with you. I don't normally do this. I don't normally mix the two. We've got the Monday podcast, the family podcast. But today I'm going to do it. So, members of the Rock and Roll English family, for my birthday, decided to give me a bit of a surprise and created this song for me. Normally, I don't like to play songs for more than 15 seconds, but I make absolutely no apologies for playing this song in its entirety. Let's just have a listen.
1, 2, 3. You say my English is okay, but I know I have a lot to improve. I vow to study now, doing all you suggest I do. I want to read a nice article and say I understood, which is not true now. These weeks, that's all that I have missed, cause I just fluttering around. Verbs, nouns, vocabulary, numerals, what the hell is that condition now? I've never seen anybody swear the way you do, and I laugh out loud. When I recall my teacher's name, Miss Martin, that more than friends, your family, blimey. Your podcast connects the world with love and friends we do, but we don't know how. At times maybe you seem to be a little bit crazy. Above it all, you're the nicest part. At times maybe you seem to be a little bit crazy. Above it all, you're the nicest part.
Wow, oh wow. It was actually very emotional listening to that. I was at work. I had no idea, obviously, it had been made. I listened to it, and then I very embarrassingly started crying, Charlie. It was fucking unbelievable. I was just standing there, like in the staff room. I was listening, and then I was thinking, oh, fuck, what's happening? Like, and then I thought, fuck, I need to go outside. So I went into the garden and just sort of had a little cry. And then someone else came out to say happy birthday to me. And they were like, are you crying? I was like, no, of course not. I am way too cool to cry. Okay? Way too cool.
I'm glad you liked it. It was a very fun thing to do.
Oh, I bet it was. Just showing my emotional side, Charlie, like a real man.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Which brings me very nicely onto today's podcast, because yesterday, I think, was International Men's Day. Okay, so I thought, we can celebrate this together, because apparently people don't speak about men enough, Charlie. So what you and I are going to do today is speak about men.
Wow. My favourite topic.
You can read into that as you want, people, okay? So when I say you can read into that, you can understand what you want from clarification Charlie's comment there. Anyway, so apparently men underperform girls in every stage at school, Charlie. You're a teacher. Is this true? Boys are shitter than girls. Is that generally the case?
Do you know what? It's sad but true. Yeah, it is. There is a boy-girl gap in education, sadly.
That is a bit shit, isn't it?
Yeah,
I've got some other facts here that more men are homeless.
Wow.
More men are unemployed. I think we can just draw the conclusion that it's pretty shit being a man.
Yeah,
actually.
I know. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations for making it through. You know, it must be really hard to be a man in today's world. That's what people always say, isn't it?
Well,
those poor men.
It is difficult.
How hard life might be for them.
Life is difficult for me. I've made it 34 years, okay? Next stop, 35, okay? Then see where we go. Apparently, Theresa May is behind the project of World Men's Day, I suppose, actually.
She is.
Which I suppose I thought you would be pleased about because, you know, you being a posh person, clarification, Charlie. Remember, she has a Mercedes. Okay, 2 cars, I think, in your family.
Yes,
is that right?
2 cars. Yes, 2 cars.
Just the 2 cars, sure.
Yeah.
I thought, you know, I bet you're a big fan of Theresa May, aren't you? So if anyone doesn't know, Theresa May is the Prime Minister of Britain.
Yes. She's great.
Lots of enthusiasm there in your voice, actually. Apparently, the feminists aren't very happy about this day, though, World Men's Day. Apparently, they said every day is World Men's Day. So funny, those feminists, aren't they?
Yeah, indeed.
So funny. God. But apparently, Ruth Morris, okay, I don't know Ruth personally, but I want to, has actually come out. She's a feminist, and she said that we should fight for gender equality for men and for women. Okay.
But women have, I'm sure there's International Women's Day. So by that merit, International Women's Day, International Man's Day, that is equal.
I'm with you. Exactly. That's all we want. Okay. So apparently men, as I said, have difficulty talking about stuff.
Men have difficulty talking and doing things at the same time, I find. Or maybe that's just my husband.
Oh, that is so 1950s clarification, Charlie, okay? It's 2018 here, okay?
And he still can't do it.
He still can't do it, yeah? Sure. Apparently, teenage boys, it says 54% of them have difficulty talking to their fathers about stress and sexually related matters. I immediately thought, only 54% have difficulty talking to their dad about like sexual matters.
Do you talk to your dad about sexual matters?
Hasn't been a topic of conversation recently, no. In fact, I don't think ever, actually. I'm hoping to keep it that way as well. Okay, I'm not planning on talking about that. Teenagers, probably the worst time to do it as well. I mean, how would that conversation go? Hi, Dad. I've noticed I like some girls and I want to put my thing inside them. Is that the type of conversation you think your daughter's going to be having with your husband in a few years?
Oh, I hope not.
Actually, we're talking about men, aren't we? So, you know, sorry.
Yeah,
let's stick to the men. Let's stick to the men. Apparently, as well, men have more difficulty with things, and life is tough being a man. So tough is difficult. For example, it's more difficult for men to show emotion, like me, Charlie, okay? I was at work the other day, I showed a bit of emotion. I had to pretend I wasn't, okay, just so I could be a real man. Does that make society a good place?
No.
No, it does
But
not.
remember, you and Boom Boom are the real men, because remember, you're the ones holding the ladders.
Well, exactly. Very important job. Very important job. And if you don't show your feelings, apparently, you can have problems in later life. So that's probably going to happen to me now.
Hopefully, you'll make it through.
Hopefully I will. So make it through. Some lovely rock and roll vocabulary there. Basically, you'll survive. Another thing about men is that they are often considered perverts. Okay, so a pervert is someone sort of sexually disturbed. Okay, I'll give you an example. I was sitting down once on my own enjoying an ice cream, and there were some children playing in the park. I was watching them play, and then I noticed a few looks towards me like, what is that strange pervert doing?
Because you were sat eating an ice cream looking at children.
And what is the problem with that? Okay, it was an innocent ice cream, and I'm an innocent man. Okay,
This is very true.
As well.
Things that happen to you.
Well, exactly. I mean, nothing happened. I was just having an ice cream in a park. I don't know what there's nothing to even speak about there. Nothing to see here, people. Keep on moving. That's
what you should have done instead of sat down. Bought your ice cream and keep on moving.
I was tired of walking. Okay, I wanted to sit down. As well, apparently, men in the classroom has got a sort of negative stigma, some rock and roll vocabulary there, like a negative reputation for the same reason of basically thinking men can't be trusted with young girls and stuff like this. And I have a very relevant example of this. I had a complaint made about me at work fairly recently. My boss came to me and said, there's been a complaint about you, and I was mortified. I was thinking, oh fuck, what have I done? Have I upset someone? And she said, yeah, a girl complained because you're not a female. It's like, I was like, oh, okay, well, what am I supposed to do about that then?
Oh God, yeah, you can't really change that.
Yeah, it's difficult. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, I could, but I don't intend to.
It's
That's
a long process.
It's a long process for a small complaint like that, isn't it? But
Yeah.
but this is what I'm talking about. Men are not treated fairly. Even when we were at university, Charlie, do you remember? In Britain, in the first year at university, you go in and what we call dorms, where you have like your own little room. First day, I went in my room, came out, thought, where are all the girls? All the floor were all boys. And I was like, where the fuck are all the girls? Because the boys apparently couldn't be trusted with the girls. So then me and one of my friends went for an adventure, went upstairs, found the girls' floor. I was thinking, oh, this is going to be great. And then we found Clarification Charlie, and we were like, oh, fuck, is this it? No more girls, just got to talk to Clarification Charlie.
Yeah. Well, we're still chatting, 15 years on, so must have done something right.
I've been lumbered with you. That's the problem. So when you're lumbered with someone, you don't have a choice. Okay, I've been trying to get rid of you for a long time now.
You're like a boomerang. You just keep coming back.
Exactly. It's a fucking nightmare. Another problem men have is height. Okay, because if you have a tall girl, she can marry a tall guy.
Indeed.
No problem. A short girl, she can still marry a tall guy. No problem. If you have a short man like me, you're fucked. Okay? It's a massive problem. Okay? So when I say you're fucked, you're in big trouble there. I think that's why I remained single for so long. Okay? That's the only reason. Okay?
No. What? Because you're not that short.
I'm definitely not tall, am I?
No.
I think you're actually taller than me, aren't you?
No, I think you're taller than me, but just slightly.
I thought that was the only reason you didn't want to go out with me, because you were taller than me. Yeah. That can be the only possible reason, short. Surely, no?
Yeah. Yep. That must be the only reason.
Only reason,
absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah,
discriminated against again. Jesus Christ, unbelievable.
Yeah. No, if only you were a couple of inches longer, Martin. Hey, taller.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, thank you. Some rock and roll vocabulary there, though. She said, "If only you were." Okay, lovely rock and roll grammar as well, actually. And then she said longer, which again you can interpret any way you want. Okay.
I meant taller.
Sure, taller. Taller is a better word to describe that, but
I did mean that.
sure. Okay, well, that's the main thing. That's what you meant.
Yes.
Okay, tell that to the judge. Okay. And another thing it says here with men, how difficult we have lives, etc., is that men can be tricked into impregnating a woman. So that's when you get a woman pregnant. You could also say knock her up, couldn't you, Charlie?
You could. It's not a very nice term, but it's a bit like bird, really, in my eyes.
Yeah, remember we had the word bird, which is a common way to refer to a woman. But yeah, knocking someone up, impregnate. How do you say that word?
Impregnate.
Oh, impregnate. Oh, so I did say it wrong. It's too complicated for me. I use the street language, Charlie, okay? I don't pretend to be posh. I say knock someone up. Anyway, whatever you want to call it. I did think, can they really be tricked into doing that? Because if you agree to do that, there's always a risk, isn't there? It's not really being tricked into it.
There's always a chance. Always a chance.
Always a chance. Exactly.
Yeah,
always
exactly.
a chance. And speaking of this moves me nicely to the next point, actually, which is romantic rejection. Romance, it's all connected, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. At the end of a romance, that's where babies come from, isn't it?
Big time.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Lovely rock and roll vocabulary there. Nice way to agree with someone. Oh, yeah. Big time. That men obviously face more rejection because we're the ones that have to make the first move.
What? As in, what? They have to ask a girl out?
Yeah, that's what we're expected to do. Society puts that pressure on us.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, I don't know whether that's the case so much anymore. I don't know.
I don't know. With me and Mrs. Rock and Roll English, it was very much the case. Okay, I had to take a gamble. Okay, take a risk. Okay, luckily it paid off. What does it mean if something pays off?
It means that it came off well for you. You did well out of it.
I did very well out of it. But then let's not talk about all the 500 times I got rejected, Charlie. Okay. This one works out well, but 500 didn't, but I never took it as a no. I just took it as one step closer to a yes.
Exactly.
Okay?
That's how you should see every move in life.
Exactly. Okay. As I always tell people, it's lessons of life as well as English and rock and roll English. Anyway, it's been lovely talking to you about how great men are. Okay. Fuck the feminists and all that. Yeah, I think we've agreed on that.
Yeah, well, let this show be dedicated then to the three men of rock and roll English, hey?
Oh yeah, good idea actually. Yeah. So I'm going to go out now and celebrate with all the other men, okay, and just I don't know, maybe compare the size of our penises, okay. This is what men do when we're on our own, okay. So You just stay out. I'm going to go with Corporal Coma and Boom Boom now, and just check the size of our penises, okay.
And remember, they were a couple of inches longer.
Exactly. If only they were. Some nice rock and roll grammar again to finish on. Anyway, thanks a lot. Clarification, Charlie. We will hopefully see you soon.
Thank you. I'll see you very soon. All right.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay, so that was me and Clarification Charlie speaking about World Men's Day. So let's have a look at some of that rock and roll vocabulary, baby. When we were talking about Boom Boom not switching on his microphone, Clarification Charlie said, no schoolboy errors for me, okay? It's a nice colloquial term that we use for basic stupid errors, basically. Maybe you go away, for example, for the weekend for 3 days. You only bring 3 pairs of pants, okay? You always need that extra pair just in case something happens. If you don't bring that extra pair, schoolboy error. When Clarification Charlie said that men was her favourite topic, I said, you can read into that as you want, okay? Understand what you want from that. And we also had the word pervert. So a pervert is someone that's sexually disturbed, I would say, is the best way to describe it. The man that looks at you a bit strange on the bus and maybe looks like he's touching himself, you can call him a pervert, okay? Anyway, that's enough about perverts. I was telling Clarification Charlie that men in the classroom has a negative stigma. So if it has a negative stigma, it has like a negative sound, a negative reputation. I was also talking about dorms, which is where I met Clarification Charlie, at dorms in university. So dorms is where first year students at university sleep. You have your little room, you have a bed. Sometimes you have a toilet. Me and Clarification Charlie didn't have a toilet. We were too poor to pay for that. Only the rich people can pay for the toilet. I also said, I've been lumbered with you. If you're lumbered with someone or something, you don't really have a choice. It's just given to you. For example, just today, me and Mrs. Rock and Roll English had a few people at our house. Everyone left and I was lumbered with washing the plates. I didn't have a choice. But you know what's a good thing to do when you're doing the washing up? Listen to a podcast, baby. Oh yeah. I wasn't listening to my podcast, though, if that's what you're thinking. I never listen to my podcast. I listen to other podcasts. Clarification Charlie also used some lovely rock and roll grammar when she said, if only you were a couple of inches longer. Trying to ignore the fact that she used the word longer, which is generally used for like a penis, and concentrating on the grammar. If only you were. Absolutely lovely. It's a hypothetical thing. It's like the second conditional. That's why she's used the past. But believe me, if I were a couple of inches taller, I repeat taller, Clarification Charlie would have fallen in love with me for sure. It's sure. There's no doubt about it. We were talking about men being tricked into impregnating women. I can't really pronounce that word. That's when you get someone pregnant, or get a woman pregnant, obviously. I use the more street language of knocking someone up, but that's really not a very nice way to say it. I say it as a joke though, okay? Not because I'm a horrible person. Clarification Charlie also used a lovely term when she agreed with me when I said, oh, that's where babies come from, isn't it? And instead of just saying yes, which is a bit boring, a bit grey, you know, we want some colour in our life, she said, big time. Now that is rock and roll vocabulary. I was telling her about when I had to make the first move with Mrs. Rock and Roll English. I said I had to take a gamble, like a risk, but I said, luckily it paid off, like it was worth it. It worked out for me. Anyway, that is all of the rock and roll vocabulary. Remember to go to the website. It's all there, baby. And in case I haven't told you, the website is working 7 days a week. Oh, yeah. I will see you next week, people. Have a great week. In the meantime, though, just keep on rocking.
Thanks so much for listening to Rock and Roll English. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit rockandrollenglish.com and facebook.com/rockandrollenglish. We'll catch you next time.